跟你睡过觉的男人有多少？每一个死的你都去哭他们。
对，跟我睡过的男人多得数不尽，我只哭他一个，只有他说过我心跳声好听。
It was a young man named Jack who died. He lived in the country for a long time, simple-minded. His biggest dream is to have a pair of shoes. So he found a senior who worked in a textile factory in the city. Hoped to find an errand. Because Jack has practiced Hongquan, so he proposed to rely on kung fu to make money. But his senior has been in society for a long time, well aware of the dangers of the human heart. So tell Jack again and again to keep a low profile. Don't expose the fact that he knows martial arts. Jack nodded after listening. He knows that the senior cares about him. What's more, it's just arrived. The senior immediately gave himself a pair of shoes that he had dreamed of. Even if the shoes are worn out and don't fit. But he's still happy. The next day, the senior took Jack to find the manager, hoping to get a job, and said still in accordance with the old rules. No salary during the 3-month internship. But even so, the manager is still trying to make things difficult. He hit Jack on the head with a bomb, constantly talking about the rules to be followed at work. Till the end, manager agrees to work. Jack secretly complained to the seniors. This manager is simply more arrogant than the mayor. But the senior just told him not to cause trouble. However, on the first day of work, when Jack pushes the cart, accidentally bumped into the manager who was teaching kung fu. What's worse? Not only did he not apologize, also pointed out that the manager's legs are not strong enough. The foreman on the side saw that the atmosphere was becoming tense. Immediately urged Jack to apologize. However, the manager is pissed off. Immediately teach Jack a lesson. But even if the manager goes all out, constantly attack, but still fail to hurt Jack. Just when the two were fighting, the senior suddenly appeared. Gently pinched the manager's wrist with fingers. Although pleading for Jack, but the strength of the fingers remains the same. Make the manager unable to move. Under the majesty of the senior, Jack had to kneel down and apologize to the manager. But the manager didn't accept the apology. He's going to fire Jack right away. Fortunately, the foreman was there to intercede for Jack. Jack kept his job. At the same time, people in the weaving workshop were restless. It turned out to be on the ground of the state capital. In addition to Xingfalang, who do textile business, there is also a Gilyantong. But the workers in Gilyantong are not as skilled as others. The fabric is not as good as Xingfalang. In order to dominate the textile market, Mr. Ha of Gilyantong wanted to poach workers from Xingfalang. But after a few tries, no one wants to leave. Mr. Ha is a little impatient. He thought of using force to persecute, because he has someone in the government. So there's nothing to worry about. He used tricks first, deceiving the workers of Xingfalang to the wilderness. Let the prearranged thugs smash all the workers' wrists, make them unable to work anymore. This trick of killing chickens and monkeys is really effective. The matter of attracting workers has become very smooth. On the road where the people defected, the foreman came in time to stop, but was besieged by Gilyantong thugs. Emergency moment. Jack showed up to help. He beat the other side effortlessly. Workers were also persuaded to return. After going back, the foreman strongly recommends Jack to the boss. It went well for Jack to get promoted, because Jack did a lot of credit this time. The boss asked him what else he wanted. The funny thing is, Jack just wanted a new pair of shoes that fit. After returning home, Jack kicked off the old shoe, showing off his new shoes to his seniors, and said fists are still useful, can rely on it to conquer the world. The senior saw that Jack didn't listen to his words, didn't say much, just silently picked up the shoes on the ground. At this time, Mr. Ha learned that the plan was blocked, so he no longer keeps. He ordered his men, as long as you see Xing Fa Long people, beat them. For a time, the struggle between the two sides intensified. During a fight, foreman tragic death. Everyone is angry, but there are people in Mr. Ha's government. Hard to win a case. They can only endure. On this day, Gilyantong came to provoke again. Said to borrow 80 machines. The other party is very arrogant. Thought that Xingfalang would no longer be able to fight. Unexpectedly, Jack walked out. He raised his fist and asked, anyone with a discerning eye can tell it's a provocation. The second master of the angry Gilyantong immediately took action. But after a few rounds, the second master was beaten back again and again. At this moment, a worker recognized the second master. This is the man who killed the foreman. Because the foreman had been kind to him, Jack's move started to get fierce. Soon, the second master was beaten and had no power to fight back. Can only escape in a hurry with the help of his subordinates. After this battle, Jack is more important to the boss. He took the manager's seat. Not only live in a magnificent big house, also owns a gold watch. Jack remembered how his former manager disdained him, imitated the tone of the former manager, keep hitting him on the head with a cigarette stick. Jack realized the charm of money. Wherever he goes now, there is always a crowd following him. That day he happened to meet his senior who was out drinking. Just came up to say hello. The senior told him to leave quickly. Seeing that the senior doesn't want to talk to him, Jack feels aggrieved. He can only drink away his worries. After returning home, he fell drunk in the gentle village specially created for him by the boss. The next day Jack went to a restaurant for dinner. People from Gilliantong have been waiting here for a long time. After some flattery, Jack gets cocky. When that person proposed that the second master wanted to see him, Jack agreed without hesitation. Unexpectedly, I just walked in. The second master is on crutches. Go up to say hello to Jack. Seeing each other so enthusiastic, Jack apologized for breaking his leg last time, but the second master doesn't care. Reach out and invite Jack to sit inside. Suddenly, the second master showed his true face. A stab at Jack with a sword. Jack's face is shocked. Kick the second master over with one kick. At this time, a large number of thugs appeared. Jack endured the pain and knocked them back one by one, and solved the second master on the spot. Jack draws out the sword in his stomach. Endure the pain and go home. After bandaging the wound, he called Miss Hua to dress him up. Listening to the sound of the pocket watch in my hand, Jack is getting addicted.
这声音真好听，还有你喘气时候的心跳声，也好听。
In the end he put on new shoes. With Miss Hua's smile, he left. Not long after, Jack showed up at Mr. Hu's mansion. Start hitting people without saying a word. Thugs stepped forward one after another. But none of them are Jack's opponents. But the sword wound on Jack is still there. One careless hit in the stomach by a thug. Blood flowed out instantly. Jack forced himself to hold back the pain. Keep fighting. But his injuries are getting worse. More and more bleeding from the abdomen. And this was also discovered by Mr. Ha. He saw that Jack was dying. Hastily ordered his subordinates to take turns to attack. Although Jack is powerful, but the injury is too serious. Difficult to parry the siege of the crowd. Quickly defeated. Keep getting beaten. Mr. Ha sees that Jack is going to die. He went up alone. One move locked throat. Completely ended Jack's life. At the end of life, Jack looked at the dust on his new shoes. He wanted to reach out to clean up. Although he tried his best. But still haven't touched. Jack is dead. Miss Hua brought a new suit of clothes and burned them. Although she is a prostitute. But Jack's pure affection make her unforgettable. However, except for these few people, no one thinks about Jack. Even after the boss of Xingfulong heard the news, is also indifferent. In his view, it's just a useless life. The senior knows that this is all the result of his junior brother's arrogance. He didn't blame the indifferent Xingfulong boss. But Mr. Ha, who is a murderer, he will definitely not let it go.